Good morning, and welcome to Winnipeg. Now, I'm going to be getting a coffee visitor early this afternoon, so I got to wrap today's episode up a little bit earlier than I normally do. And it's a good thing we've got a rollback, because I don't know what I'm going to be videoing here yet this morning. We got all our little pieces cut and trimmed and ready to paint, I guess. I haven't decided, am I going to airbrush them, or am I going to try and delicately paint them with a regular brush? But we got these little guys here. Well, I don't know if I dare try and paint those with a brush, you know. In the rollback, you'll see I did finally, thanks to the viewers helping me to realize that I was doing it wrong, I finally got them. I'm starting to lose my train of thought here again. Why don't we just roll back and see how it is we got to this place? Now, the rollback actually starts out not here at the model table, it starts out in the back room. So, but it doesn't last very long, so don't worry, we get back to the model table. Yeah, let's just roll back and see how it is we got to where we are. Well, I've made a change to my lathe stand. And Tennessee Jim, you were right. When you predicted I was going to be modifying it, well, I just did. I put this piece in right here, and I took this piece out. And the reason being is, when I'm holding the chisel, or the gouge, or the scraper, in my case it's a scraper usually, I like to rest my hand on and hold it like this, and then rest the palm of my hand against the tool rest. And with this thing here, I just couldn't comfortably do that. I was too much at an angle. Whereas this way, it's sort of like my big lathe downstairs now. It's what I've become accustomed to. Not that I couldn't get used to holding it some other way, I guess. But I just find that if I can rest the palm of my hand against this, which reminds me, I gotta take this thing off here. This is really rough on the top, and when I was trying it out there, the chisel was catching, so I gotta file this down and make it nice and smooth, so that it will slide back and forth. I get off the subject easy, don't I? Anyway, yeah, we made a change. Now I know what's going to happen is my son is going to see the modification I made to the stand, and he's going to be saying, "Dad, why didn't you do that in the first place?" And then we wouldn't have had to have fought to get that lathe mounted on the stand. And he's right. That's the way it goes. Now, it's sure nice to see the sun still shining at this time in the evening. It's 6 o'clock, just by coincidence. I didn't time it that way. And no, I know we did have go on daylight savings time. That made a bit of a difference. Anyway, it's nice to see the sun still shining. You can't see it, but over there it's shining on the model table. Okay, enough about sunshine. We don't need very much photo etch here. It looks like we just need the two little pieces for the searchlights, and then we need a couple of pieces that go on right down here. Photo etch C50. Yeah, it looks like only 4 pieces, unless I've missed something, but I don't think I did. Oh, you know what? We have to get those pieces that we have to replace. Okay. We are supposed to get K22 and K21. Okay, well, let's do that. Let's do that. Well, looking at them like this, they both look the same. It looks like if I was to just flip one over, it would become the other one. The only thing that could be is it's possible, it might be that this one is a little bit shorter from here to here. than this one is. So I've got lots of tuna fish tins. So I think maybe what I'll do is I'll just make use of them. Okay, so this is the 21. Oh, I dropped it. There we go. And trying not to drop it, but I guess it wouldn't be the end of the world, would it? Okay, and 22. Okay, I've been doing something a little bit different lately, and that is that as I nip a piece off, I get the sprue off of it. Now, I was noticing on this one here that there's just a little bit of sprue still stuck on there, but I'm afraid if I try to sand it off or file it off, I'm going to break this very, very delicate little piece here. So it's just going to have to be what it is. Okay, E14. Okay, this is 13, so this must be 14. I don't see too much difference in them, and I'm also not feeling where I can get the edge, so I just gotta kind of eyeball it here. Okay, let's turn it around now. And right about there. All right, I should be through. Yeah, there we go. Now, I want to show you something. This is what they want us to mount this on. And then look at the difference, comparison rather, to my finger. And I've got to try and glue this on there, something like that. Well, I'll give it a try. I better get it in a tin before I lose it. Okay. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the flower that's on the front of the Yamato. What is it, a chrysanthemum or something? That's what it reminds me of. But it's not. It's supposed to be the lens that goes on here. Okay, C50. This is the grate that goes on the front of that square piece that we nipped off a while ago. It's kind of catching here on me. There we go. Try and get as close to the edge as I can without shaving the edge. I think I did pretty good. Okay, we'll get those glued on. Yeah. Now, I don't know if this is a good idea or not, but I was kind of afraid that if I grabbed the, see if I can get this here, this thing here, in a tweezer or a alligator clip, that I might end up squashing it because it is so fine. I mean, look at it compared to my finger here. Okay, now to get this level, I think that's basically level. Yeah. Okay, we're just doing a dry run here. Now, speaking of leaving residue on stuff, I forgot to look at our microscope slide. And I haven't checked the comments for the last episode, but I'll bet you that there's at least one comment saying, hey, we were going to look at that. Now, I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put a little tiny bit of CA thin right in the center of that, and then see if I can't get it to let go. It seems to be working, sort of. It is so light that well, I think when we get the CA on there, it'll release, because the CA will sort of, you know, I don't want to be doing a whole bunch of this kind of thing. Okay, so let's just get it off of there and get our CA in place. Okay, about 2 minutes has passed here. Oh, just a little bit, Ron. Don't flood it. Okay, I think there's some on there. Yeah, I can see it. I can see it reflecting. Okay, now one of the viewers made the comment. He says you just use a little bit of CA and then allow the paint to Well, I had it. I was just trying to adjust it here. There. I'm looking straight down on it, and it looks pretty good. Providing there's some CA under there. That's the problem. Do I dare try and push it down? Okay, let's just leave that. Okay, let's try the other one. Oh. I gotta get my fingers in your way here, I guess. Try and get it level. Does it look level? Check the monitor. Not bad. Okay. Yep. Let go. Come on, let go. Okay, maybe I can just straighten it just a little bit. There. I think that's good. If I come straight down on it. Okay, let's leave that. In the meantime, let's find our microscope slide and take a look at the residue. But first, I got to show you perspective. Okay, this might be a little hard to understand because the green cloth is making our CA glue look like a green glob with clear around the outside. You know, it looks clear here, but looking straight down on it with my eye, this is also clear. But somehow we're okay. Now the curing agent, it was over here, and it has completely evaporated. I'm not seeing very little residue actually. It might discolor paint, but as near as I can tell, the curing agent has completely evaporated. And our CA glue, see if I can get it to break off the glass here. It glues to glass really good. Okay. All right. What I wanted to find out was, does the curing agent leave residue? And basically, I'd have to say no, it doesn't. When it evaporates, it's gone. Sort of like water. Okay, we're back. I'm noticing that if I tip this, you can sort of begin to see a little bit of residue where the curing agent was, okay? And then you can also see that the CA glue is actually clear. It's not green. All right. Now you can see I got the pins on the bottom. I don't think that's gonna come off of there. Now we're just doing a dry run here. Okay, I can see that should work. All right. Now, where's our CA glue? Okay, let's just leave that now. I'm sure that there's enough CA making contact between the plastic and the photo etch, and then as our friend suggested, we'll just let the paint glue it in place. Well, I think we did pretty good. I haven't done any editing yet this evening, and I got a feeling there's a lot of footage in the camera right now. I think I better wrap it up here and say we'll see you in the morning. Well, it is morning. And as I mentioned at the beginning of today's episode, we sort of have ourselves a bit of a painting dilemma. Okay, well, first of all, just take Tony's tweezers here. This piece here is already painted. And it's got tape stuck on the bottom of it, obviously. But this goes, I know you're not going to be able to see it because you're way back, but it actually goes right on here. I think that I should go ahead and just put this down. Just glue it down. We need 4 of these 20mm anti-aircraft guns. Okay. They go here, 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 and here. I think that I should maybe just put them in place. Then everything else that we have to do is going to need to be painted. Now, as far as the painting goes, I've only got 1 jar of the 66, and it's pretty much full. And then what I did was I mixed 2 or 3 partially, put them all together. Makes more sense to me. And the same thing with the 77. This is probably only half full. And but I've got lots of 19, and the reason I got lots of 19 here is because I knew that I was going to have most of the superstructure, and a lot of the upper hull was all going to be 19, so I bought lots of it. But we're running out of the 66 and 77. Now, when I have found with my limited experience that when I airbrush, I use probably, like if I was going to airbrush something small like this, I probably would end up using, I can't get it out of there. I would probably end up using 10 or more times as much paint if I airbrush than if I was to brush it with an ordinary paintbrush. And on the other hand, it will do 10 times as good a job. The airbrush will do 10 times as good a job. So you gotta, take the good with the bad, I guess. But what I think I'm going to try to do here is let's put this back here before I lose it. Okay, these little guys over here, living dangerously. When I lift a tin over there, I might accidentally drop it. I've got a tendency to drop stuff a lot lately. I am going to try and paint one of these with a paintbrush and just see how it goes. If the paint is really thinned out and I use my smallest brush and I am really careful, like I got these on rotating blocks because I was originally thinking of spraying them, and that would have been the best job, although I do have a tendency sometimes to overspray, in which case you may as well use an ordinary paintbrush. Anyway, enough flapping my gums here. Let's glue these 5 pieces down that are already painted and get a bit of a start here. Okay. I think what I'm going to try to do here is put a little bit of the Tamiya thick just around the inside of that, and then drop it down over where it's supposed to go there, and try not to get it smeared around. Let's just do a bit of a dry run here first. Just want to make sure it's going to fit okay. That's a pretty loose fit. I wonder how come I'm not used to these things fitting so loosely. Just let me check. Am I putting it in the right place here? Yeah, M28 drops down right there. Okay. All right, let's get our macro lens on here and zoom right in. Okay, I'm going to try a bit of an experiment here. And what I was going to do was I was going to be using our CA thick here, our Tamiya thick, and I was going to put some on the underside of this little box here, and then put it on that positioning peg, I guess you'd call it. However, I was afraid that I might drip on the deck. You know how this is notorious for dripping. Okay, so what I've done is I've got the top of a Q-tip. When the lens is aimed the way it is right now, and when I turn it like this, okay, the top of this Q-tip is the same distance now as it was when it was aimed here. So my thinking is that if I can take my little piece here and hold it just above this Q-tip, and then apply my glue, and if it drips, it's just going to drip down here on the wood. It's not going to hurt anything. Then, if I remember, that is, I will take and swing my camera back over here, and then I can drop my little piece down. At least that's the plan. Now, I don't think I've ever done anything like this before, where I've swung the camera from one place to the other, where both subjects, you might say, were equal distance to the lens. Okay, so now you know what's happening here. I enjoy doing this kind of stuff. I think I enjoy doing this sort of thing more than actually building. Okay, let's see what's going to happen here. Okay, here we go. I'm using a pair of self-locking tweezers because I have a tendency to drop stuff when I use the other kind. So let's just get our glue inside there now. Just have enough so that it's definitely going to run down. Okay, now remember to change the camera angle. Otherwise this is not going to work. All right, here we go. Well, I see a little bit of glue oozed out there. One thing's for sure, this is not going to be coming off. Yeah, I think that worked out okay. Now, very shortly after I took this shot, my doorbell rings. And I look up into my monitor, and there's my neighbor standing there, and he's clutching a clock. Now, I knew he was coming over because several years ago I had actually made that clock. And he was telling me the other day it stopped working. And I said, well, bring it over. I'll fix it for you. I sort of felt responsible. Now, I'm not taking clock repair on anymore, but being as it's one that I made, I sort of felt obligated, right? Anyway, yeah, so I guess I'm going to have a little project on my hands on the side here. But I won't video it, don't worry. Okay, I know I said I was not going to show it to you. Or did I say I would not show the... You know what, I think I meant that I would not show the repair on camera. But I got to show this thing to you. It's horrendously dusty. Yeah, when he first told me about it, I guess a couple of weeks ago now, I could not remember what it looked like. And but as soon as I saw it a few minutes ago, yeah, then I could remember. See, it comes open like this, I believe, or is it like this? Oh, there we go. Okay, it's solid oak, by the way. Now, there's absolutely no veneer in it whatsoever. Now, that can be good and it can be bad, because when you have a solid oak back like that, there's a chance of it cracking, but I see this seems to have stood up pretty good. Yeah, it's just that it needs cleaning up really bad. Well, we'll get it cleaned up a little bit, and then I'll take it apart and see what the problem is. I hope it's not something as silly as it just needs new batteries. Well, surely you would have changed the batteries by now, because it's a few years ago I made this. I may have actually done a video making this clock. Probably there is, but I've just made so many I can't remember anymore. Anyway, yeah. Okay, as the old saying used to go, meanwhile back at the ranch, at least it was a popular saying, I'm guessing 50 years ago. And we need one more here. I don't think it matters which one we take. Okay, we got all four here. Okay, so this is where we're going to be doing the business right here. I'll see if I can move you in a little closer. It might be possible that you'll be able to see all four being dropped in at the same time. I mean, in one scene. And if you don't want to do that, well, you know how to fast forward. Okay, I'm wondering, should we maybe be doing a bit of a dry run here? In other words, are the holes big enough for the pegs so I don't have to... Oh, that one didn't really want to fall into place. Let's try this one. I can always twist them around the way I want them later. Okay, I think I'm going to take and enlarge these holes just a little bit. I want this to drop in there, and Yeah, I think that these holes might have a little bit of paint in them. I'm just going to quickly do that off camera. Okay, what I did was I just used the point of my hobby knife here and a toothpick, sort of like what you see me doing here. And let's give it a try now. Yeah, if it hadn't fallen over, yeah, I could see that it actually fit. So yeah, okay. So where's our glue now? Now remember, we're not going to use more than we have to, are we? Maybe I should do the ones furthest away first. Looks like I got some on the base, doesn't it? Okay, now I think that this should be aimed just a little bit out, like this. There. Let's see if I can do the other one just a little bit more carefully. That's carefully. Maybe I'll hold it by the barrel. There. That should meld into place there. I think it's straight. It looks kind of like elevated down. There, it's somewhat better. Alright, now another one. Got to be careful when I'm holding it by the barrel like that. Now they don't have to be 100% symmetrical. When would they go into place here? Yeah, they don't have to be 100% symmetrical because they wouldn't have been on the real ship either. And the last one, and it's going to go at the other angle. So let's see if we can get it right to start with. Okay, yeah, is it down? Yeah, I think so. Okay, let's put safety hoop across now from side to side, and yeah. Hey, you know what time it is? Okay, I promised somebody that I was going to weigh this next one. Oh my goodness. That's about almost 1,000 calories right there. Maybe not quite. Yeah, about 1,000 calories. Okay, let's get that in the microwave and warm it up. Okay, a minute ago, this was actually sizzling. Now, if I don't make at least one revolution, I think it's bad luck, isn't it? Alright, what do we got going on over here that's falling out? Ooh, it's hot. My oh my, but have we ever had ourselves a disjointed episode today? And a lot longer than I thought. It's about 35 minutes now, I think. Anyway, I've got to do the final edit, Get ready for my coffee visitor. And Corey, if you're listening, if we're lucky, the coffee visitor will bring the metal Yamato with him. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Albeit well, we'll see you tomorrow.